In this video, I'll show you how to solve the ALEKS problem called naming binary covalent compounds. These are going to be molecules that are all non-metals. So there's no cations or anions here. These are just all non-metals coming together to make a molecule. These are actually pretty tricky to name. So there's going to be two parts to the name. You're going to name the first atom in the molecule, and then you'll name the second atom in the molecule. And the rules that we're going to follow are different for the first and the second atom. For the first atom, we are going to just name the atom like normal. We don't do anything to modify the name of the atom. If there is only one, then we are not going to use a prefix to indicate the quantity. If there is two or more of that particular atom, then we are going to use a prefix to indicate the quantity. So let me explain a little bit about what that means. When we're looking at the first atom in the formula, if there's only one, which there is in all of the first four examples, we're not going to use a prefix to indicate how many of that atom we have. But if we had more than one, so for example, if this was Si2O2, for example, if we had more than one, we would use a prefix to indicate how many of those we had. So let's go to just our first example. All that we're going to do is name the atom. This is Si is silicon. There is only one of them, so we're not going to use a prefix. For the second atom, there's more stuff that we have to do. First of all, we can't just name the atom. We have to change the ending of the atom to "ide," just like we would do if it was an anion. So we are going to change the ending to "ide," meaning that instead of calling this oxygen, we are going to call it oxide. And then also, we are going to use the prefixes to indicate the quantity no matter what. So no matter how many we have, even if it's only one, you have to use prefixes. If there's only one, the prefix for one is mono. So this is going to be mono, and you probably think it's going to be monoxide, but look at those double O's back to back, looks super weird. So when mono is up against an element like oxygen that also starts with an O, we drop out one of those O's just to make it less awkward. So this is silicon monoxide. Let's try our next example. First atom, we name the atom. This is a sulfur. If there's only one, which there is in this case, then we don't use a prefix. So this is sulfur. Second atom, we're going to change the ending to "ide." So instead of oxygen, it's going to be oxide, and we're going to use prefixes. There are two of these oxygens, so this prefix for two is dioxide. Example number 3, first atom, name it, no changes at all. If there's only one, no prefix, silicon. And then our second atom, we have 2, that's a di, and it's oxygen again, so this is dioxide. Third molecule, we have sulfur again. There's only one, so we don't use a prefix for that. For our second atom, we have 3 oxygens. The prefix for 3 is tri, so this would be trioxide. The prefix for 4, which is not going to come up here, is tetra. For 5 is penta. You can look these up. For 6 is hexa. Now, one of the molecules on this list is always going to be a compound containing hydrogen, and ALEKS is telling you that for a compound containing hydrogen, you may give the common name instead. ALEKS would really like for you, this is kind of a passive-aggressive statement, it would definitely prefer that you give the common name instead. You may know this, H2O, its common name is water. Another one that you're going to see on here is NH3. Its common name is ammonia. And those are the only ones that I can think of. Oh, maybe you'll see CH4, which is methane. You can Google them for sure. If you're not familiar with them, you can Google them and see what they are. You can name it following these systematic rules. Let's just do that. For the first atom, we're going to name the atom. If there's 2 or more, use the prefixes. So that means that we would, because there's 2, we would say dihydrogen, and then we'll follow that up, monoxide. And in my experience with this problem, if you do this, ALEKS isn't going to mark it wrong, but it's going to tell you that it doesn't want you to do that anymore, which is kind of stressful.